The NBA draft. That big night when young talents run towards their dreams. Every player has just one dream, to walk up on that stage and hear their name called first. But not everyone can be number one. And sometimes being second may not be the beginning of everything, but the end. Because the second pick stands in a strange line. Not as blessed as the first pick, not as free as the lower picks. For some, it becomes the opportunity that starts their career, but for others, it's a wound that never fades. The start of endless comparisons. So, is being the number 2 pick really a curse? Or just a matter of wrong time, wrong team, wrong system? Let's dive into NBA history and take a closer look at this mysterious number 2 pick. When it comes to disappointment in the draft, these 4 players come to mind first. Whenever people talk about failed draft picks, they always mention these 4 names. Let's start with the biggest. The 1984 draft. Hakeem Olajuwon went first, Michael Jordan went third, and right in between them, at number 2, was Sam Bowie. For the Portland Trail Blazers, the need was clear. A big man. They already had a star, Clyde Drexler, so their guard spot was full. That's why instead of that explosive athlete from North Carolina, they chose a 7'1" center from the University of Kentucky. But no one fully understood how serious Bowie's past injuries were. He had a promising rookie season. He played in 76 games, starting 62 of them. His averages: 10 points, 8.6 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 2.7 blocks. Those were very respectable numbers. He stood out with his long arms on defense, mid-range game on offense, and passing ability. For a center, he matched the expectations of that era, even exceeded them somewhat. He was even selected to the NBA All-Rookie First Team. But behind the scenes, there was another truth. Bowie's body had already shown warning signs back in college. At the end of his rookie year, he suffered a stress fracture in his leg. And that was the beginning of the injury spiral that would haunt his NBA career. So, technically, Sam Bowie's rookie year looked like a success. But like thin glass, it shined, only to shatter at the first hit. Repeated injuries kept him off the court. Throughout his NBA career, he had 5 leg fractures and countless knee issues. He played in just 511 games total. That's a shorter career than most average NBA players. And whenever Sam Bowie's name comes up, it's always followed by this line: Portland picked him over Michael Jordan. But that wasn't Bowie's fault. He didn't choose the team or the injuries. He was just someone who loved the game, had potential, but was let down by his body. Even today, he speaks at peace with himself. It was clear that I would never be as great a player as Michael Jordan. But like everyone else, I did the best I could. Maybe Sam Bowie didn't become a legend, but his story remains one of the most striking what-if moments in NBA history. The 2007 draft wasn't as tragic as that one, but it was just as sad. Another story of great disappointment is Darko Milicic, the 2003 NBA draft. Maybe the strongest class in history. LeBron James at number 1, Carmelo Anthony at 3, Chris Bosh at 4, Dwyane Wade at 5. And right in the middle of this golden generation, there was a name chosen in the second place that is still a symbol today: the early 2000s. European basketball was starting to show up on NBA scouting radars, and all eyes were on a rising young star from Serbia, Darko Milicic. He had started playing pro basketball at just 14 years old. He was shining at Hemo Farm Vršac, one of Yugoslavia's most established teams. He was 7 feet tall, but not just a post player. He was quick, could shoot from outside, and could dribble the ball. He was the living definition of a modern big man for that time. He attracted the attention of EuroLeague teams when he was only 16 to 17 years old. NBA scouts described him as one of the most talented big men to ever come out of Europe. In 2002, at just 17 years old, he appeared in the Nike Hoop Summit, a showcase for top young talents. There, he went head-to-head with American players and even had a physical edge. Some scouts even called him Europe's Tim Duncan. And for a while, there were even scouting reports putting him ahead of LeBron James. Because his potential wasn't just physical, he was mentally mature too. He had already played in over 100 professional games. And when the 2003 NBA draft arrived, the Detroit Pistons made their decision at number 2 after LeBron, Darko Milicic. When Detroit picked him at number 2, expectations were big. But maybe the real problem was this: Darko didn't join a team looking to build stars. He joined a system chasing a championship. An experienced and disciplined coach like Larry Brown, a team impatient to win. Darko had to learn from the bench instead of playing. With stars like Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace ahead of him, he could barely even warm up. In his first season, he averaged just 4.7 minutes per game. Ironically, though, that year Detroit won the championship. Darko made history as one of the youngest players to have an NBA championship ring, but not contribute to the game. In the following years, he had the chance to play in teams such as Orlando, Memphis, and Minnesota. But he never lived up to expectations. And here's the painful part. Whenever Darko's name is mentioned, the list follows right after. Carmelo, Bosh, Wade. But perhaps he was just the victim of the wrong team, wrong time, wrong coach trio. Years later, in an interview, he opened up, "I didn't need the NBA. The NBA needed me, but they didn't have patience for me, and then I didn't have patience for myself either." After retiring from basketball, he started farming. He grows apples in Serbia. He got into combat sports. And most importantly, he said he hated basketball, but made peace with life. Maybe Darko Milicic didn't become a superstar, but his story reminds us of this. Sometimes the greatest talent a player needs is simply time. When I say this next name, you might think, did this guy even play in the NBA? Hasheem Thabeet. Most people are hearing the name for the first time, but when he was drafted, people thought he would make NBA history. Hasheem Thabeet was 7 feet 3 inches, but his presence on the court fell short of expectations. 2009 NBA draft. The Memphis Grizzlies selected Thabeet with the 2nd overall pick, and the players picked after him became NBA legends. James Harden, 3rd, Stephen Curry, 7th, DeMar DeRozan, 9th. Memphis had a clear goal: defense, shot blocking, building a wall around the rim. Because with UConn, Thabeet was a defensive beast in the NCAA. He led the league in blocks for 3 straight years. Coaches called him the new Mutombo from Africa, but the problem was this. The NBA was no longer just about defense and height. You needed foot speed, versatility, and off-ball awareness. Thabeet couldn't adapt to this new era. He was sent to the G League already in his rookie season. For a number 2 pick, that was almost unheard of. Memphis gave up on him quickly. In the following years, he played for Houston, Portland, Oklahoma City, even the Pistons, but always with limited minutes. He played in just 224 games total. Started only 2 of them. Career averages, 2.2 points, 2.7 rebounds. A tragic picture, not for a center, but for a number 2 pick. He later tried to keep his career alive in Japan, Taiwan, and the Dominican Republic. In 2022, at age 35, he quietly retired from basketball. In an interview, he said, "They expected me to be a superstar, but no one ever asked what I needed." In short, Hasheem Thabeet's story isn't just a draft mistake, a story of disappearance in which the system, impatience, and expectations are intertwined. Maybe one of the biggest problems in the NBA is this: some players are never given time. They're just labeled. The last story is different from the others. Greg Oden's story. This time, luck was on the side of the team picking second. The Portland Trail Blazers picked Greg Oden first overall. Physically, he was incredible. 7 feet tall, 250 pounds, yet surprisingly agile on the court. Since high school, everyone said he would be the next Shaquille O'Neal. In his 1 season with Ohio State, he led his team to the NCAA final. He dominated both offensively and defensively. No one could stop him, and the NBA was waiting for him. But his body wasn't ready. Before he even played his first season, he injured his knee. He missed his entire rookie year. In the years that followed, he returned to the court a few times, but kept getting injured. His knees constantly failed him. He played in just 105 total games. His NBA career was filled with surgeries, rehab, and the question of what could have been. The player picked right after him was Kevin Durant. The two were compared for years, but Oden's real competition was himself, his potential, his dreams, his health. Greg Oden became one of the biggest what-if stories in NBA history. Because his story wasn't about failure, it was a possibility that never came true. Players drafted second are always compared because they weren't picked first. And the NBA media, fans, and managers only fuel those comparisons. While the number 1 pick is pressured to go win a championship, the number 2 pick is asked, why weren't you first? This psychological pressure makes some players stars. But for others, it becomes their breaking point. Jabari Parker, Michael Beasley, Marvin Bagley III. All picked second. But their careers didn't meet expectations. Does that mean no second pick has ever handled the pressure? Of course not. Like we said in Oden's story, sometimes the second pick becomes the big fish that got away. The biggest example of this is Kevin Durant, who has proven himself many times, has been selected as an all-star many times, and has become an NBA champion. When Kevin Durant was picked second, he said, "I wasn't picked first, but I'll be the best." And he did it. He's not the only one. Ja Morant, coming from a small college, became a star in Memphis. The number 2 pick was written in gold in his story. LaMarcus Aldridge, the face of Portland, until Damian Lillard arrived. These players were drafted second and let their play do the talking, not the draft order. Some stories begin at number 1, but others reach the top starting at number 2. Being number 2 isn't a curse, but it's a heavy load to carry. Some get crushed by it, others rise with it. In the end, it's not about what number you were picked. It's about what kind of story you turn that number into. So, what do you think about being the number 2 pick in the draft? Is it luck, a curse, or just a matter of management? We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments.